Thanks, guys. Hey, Nathan, welcome to Adelaide, first of all, mates. Why did you join the Adelaide Football Club?
Thanks, Andrew. I suppose it was, I hadn't really thought about moving states to play SANFL in Adelaide, but sort of when I finished up at the Gold Coast, after doing a pre-season up there, Nixie actually got in touch with me and Justin Reid and sort of went through, the opportunity for myself to come and play SANFL footy and also contribute, a little bit to, the experience of the SANFL side and bolstering that up, but also, from the club as well. It's to get some experience into the SANFL program and take a load off the younger boys developing. And I think it's sort of, on a lot of angles, it worked really well. So yeah, it was sort of a no-brainer in the end. And, I followed, a lot of footy and watched a lot of SANFL footy. And, Adelaide's a really big club and a really strong club, not just in SA, but Australia-wide. So it's pretty prestigious. And it was a no-brainer in the end to come across.
And you're a top 10 draft pick. Obviously, you train with Gold Coast with AFL aspirations. Has the Crows given you any carrot towards, if you perform well in the SANFL, they might take you in the mid-season draft, or even with the possibility of a supplementary list, given the COVID situation?
There hasn't been any chat of that, really. It's more just to come and challenge myself in the SANFL, play a different league of footy. And I think with everything going on with COVID and, all that sort of stuff, I think it could, potentially be on the cards, but that's sort of just a byproduct of coming into the SANFL side, playing well, contributing to a strong SANFL program. And, if that happens and it ends up, coming to fruition, it does. But sort of my focus is contributing to the SANFL side and hopefully climbing the ladder and becoming a really strong, SANFL side to push the AFL boys up. So, it would be good. I'm not going to lie, but it's not really front of mind. If it happens, it'll just be a result of hard work and playing well.
Clearly, given your background, mate, you're a highly talented player. Probably only been held back by injury. You would still hold AFL aspirations, which is why you train with Gold Coast as well. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, there's a lot of different ways into the system nowadays with, like you said, the SSP or the mid-season draft, and even with COVID this year. I suppose when I finished up at St Kilda and playing VFL, I was probably just going back to play, the highest level I could, with no real look towards playing AFL again. But I think with confidence in my body and what I've sort of been able to, the body of work I've put together over the last 3 years, playing VFL and having just confidence in my body, just knowing I can, play that standard and play well. And I thought it'd probably be silly not to give it another crack. And that's sort of why I was lucky enough to get a spot up in the Gold Coast and train there for the pre-season. Obviously, it didn't work out, but it does still burn in me. But it's like I said, I'm sort of not looking that far down the track. I'm here, to play good SANFL footy, and if that happens, it happens. And we'll just wait and see when the time comes. Sure. Just one final one from me. Will you train with the AFL squad at Adelaide much, or at all?
Yeah, so I'll train with the AFL squad, week to week, and also, but I'll also be at the SANFL trainings as well. But yeah, I'll be in the AFL program training.
Thanks, mate. Over to someone else.
Thanks, mate.
All right, we'll chuck it over to 9, please.
No worries. Nate, thanks for your time, mate. Just, I guess, after, battling injuries over the last few years, I mean, how nice was it for you just last year just to get back to playing consistent, strong footy at the VFL level?
Yeah, no, it is nice. It's good just to be able to get back into the week to week and back up every week without, worrying about my body. I don't think too much about that sort of stuff now. I think it's sort of, I'd like to shake the perception, but I think, all I can do is just back up every week and play footy and play free. So, yeah, it is nice to be able to get out in the park and have full confidence and trust in my body and know that I can do the work. But also it's, having the history that I've had over the last probably 6-7 years, it's probably put me in good stead to, when I get out there
probably appreciate it more when I do play, and probably gives me a little bit of gratitude to when I'm running out there. It's like it happened with me early days, it gets taken away from you pretty quickly, and to be able to climb back and get to where I am, I think I'm in a much better space because of it, and it's probably helped my footy in a way too. So also working with the younger boys, I've got some good relationships with the younger boys at Adelaide Crows, and being able to work with them and provide experience and a little bit of my story as well. I'm pretty grateful for every game I play now.
You were sort of vying for that sort of one of those final spots on the Gold Coast list. Was it tough sort of missing out on that, and mentally, sort of bouncing back? You sort of, I guess you sort of said before you're pretty hungry to get back, but like mentally, where were you at when you sort of just missed the cutoff there?
I don't know, mate. I've probably had a fair few kicks in the guts throughout my AFL or footy career as a whole, but I guess I've built up a bit of resilience, and I sort of understand the AFL system as well. It's pretty brutal these days, and for whatever reason, be it list needs or that sort of thing, you sometimes doesn't go your way. And I think I was pretty it's obviously a kick in the teeth, but you bounce back pretty quickly. And I was sort of thankful that Justin Reid and Nixie gave me a call to come across to Adelaide, and Measy and Adam Kelly have been amazing support too. So I sort of just thought, what's next, and what's the other opportunities out there. And like I said before, when this opportunity presented itself, it was a bit of a no-brainer to come across here. It sort of worked, from club level to my level, and it was. I'm happy to be here.
And just lastly from me, the boys at training today calling you Freezer. Is that your nickname based just on your last name, or is there a story there, like they can't get you out of the ice baths, or what's the go there, mate?
No, definitely not the ice bars. I hate them that. No, it's just my nickname. It originally was Freo, and then I think Nathan Buckley at Collingwood called me Freezer one day, and it stuck, and then that's just been it since. So yeah, it's a play on the last name, nothing to do with the ice bars or anything.
All right, thanks, mate. All from me.
Max from 10.
Hey, Nath. Thanks, mate. You've answered most of them. Sort of harping a little bit back on what you were talking about in the first couple of questions. Someone asked you, well, I am going to ask you, if I ask you what's your dream sort of outcome from this year as the SANFL listed Crow, what will the answer be?
We'll hopefully get as high up on the ladder as we can, and push the boys who are playing SANFL footy as Adelaide listed players to push them up into the AFL and develop them as well as we can. But also that's, holistically, but on an individual level, just play as well as I can. And like I sort of said at the start to Andrew, that's just going to be a byproduct of what I'm doing out in the field. And, I'm here to add a bit of experience to the SANFL side, and, make that as strong as possible to, a good AFL side needs a really strong SANFL side or second tier side pushing those boys up. So that's sort of my focus. And like I said, whatever happens from that happens. But, it's not, my number one focus getting back on a list. It's just going to be a byproduct of playing good SANFL footy.
Yeah, nice. And a little bit of what you said earlier, you sort of get the implication that you want to change people's minds a little bit about whether or not you're a durable footballer. Do you feel like you carry that a little bit over your head, or have I misread something you said earlier?
No, I don't carry it at all. I'm just an all footballer now, but sort of, I've had an injury history of, my AFL career was pretty, tarnished with injury, but I just go out and play. And I sort of described it a couple of months ago to someone. It's like early days, I was more like a Ferrari, like so highly tuned, but now I sort of see myself as a bit of a rally car where you're backing up each week and you can take the hits and just get the job done. So that's sort of my mindset, and I don't set out to change anyone's perceptions. I don't really care, but I'm just focused on how I'm perceived at the club, and getting around the boys, and doing what the coaches tell me. And that's sort of my focus. I couldn't really care what the perception of me is out there, whether I'm durable, non-durable, or whatever. It's it's sort of irrelevant.
Thank you, mate. Good luck. If you're not happy with the Freezer nickname, boys can listen to this and they can call you something to do with rally cars.
Maybe. I think Freezer's going to stick though.
That is a great. Hey, just one more from me, Nate. Who are you living with in Adelaide?
I'm moving with Josh Worrell and his
Okay.
his lovely Mrs. Page. So they've taken me in. I knew Joshy quite well from Victoria and through work, and we went to the same school. So he's it's worked out really well. He just got a rental this week, and I've just moved in. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
What school is that?
Hailbury College in Melbourne.
Okay. So the one Matthew Lloyd looks after?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate.
No dramas. Thanks, guys.